A YouTuber named Benny Loco is on a desert urban exploration in a bunch of abandoned houses that are empty, or so she thinks. She steps inside and looks to the right, no one, but standing on an opposite side of the room, under some drapes, is a silhouette that she thinks is some kind of animal figure because of these supposed ears.
Boudoir. With a bunny in the window. Creepy bunny.
But all I see is a hooded figure staring at her through a thin piece of fabric. This is one of the only times I've seen somebody laugh off a ghost sighting and not check to see what it was. All of the windows are blocked, so I guess she could be looking at a piece of cardboard or something. But since something just moved in that room and then disappeared, I have to go with paranormal activity on this one. A Saudi Arabian ghost hunter known as Explorer Abdullah Al-Anzi goes investigating a haunted mansion that has been abandoned for a long time. Strange paranormal activity begins in the courtyard. Decades of decay have worn this place into little more than roomfuls of rubble that he is determined to explore. As he is wondering how many floors this building has, he realizes he is far from alone. He's exploring the basement when he hears something in a commanding voice. If you know what was said, then fill us in too.
Huh?
He isn't sure where it's coming from, so he looks all around. Right before Abdullah turns around, something strange is caught on camera looking at him at 16 minutes and 23 seconds. A spirit or a creature with a single glowing eye. The voice is never heard again, so he thinks it's a jinn. Based on the paranormal evidence he's caught on camera, I think he's probably correct. Here's another strange sewer grate video that's worth mentioning.
Huh?
I have no idea what is making these high-pitched noises, and apparently neither does this person. The bleeding quiets down and then starts up again. Everything from toads to alarm systems have been proposed, but I have never heard an alarm system that makes that noise, or any other piece of equipment on Earth for that matter. If whatever is making that noise is alive, then I hope they are not suffering. Are you afraid of your own house? Join the club. Posted to TikTok by Scary Clip 606, this man's haunting is intensifying, and this clip reveals it's about to get worse. As the man wanders around his house in fear, a strange noise is heard from the hallway.
Whoever's in here needs to leave. Like, I've had enough of it, and it's just getting worse.
It becomes quicker, like it's galloping. Some in the comments say the galloping sounds like a demon with goat legs. The man looks down the hallway and enters the kitchen. There's nothing there. He tells the spirit to leave, but maybe it just doesn't want to. This CCTV video captures a large figure lurking beneath a bush on an empty street. It's hard to tell what it is at first, until the camera zooms in for a better look. Some kind of humanoid is low to the ground, as if waiting to grab someone, anyone who walks by. It looks like it could be a person, until it dips its head from the shadows at 1 minute and 58 seconds to reveal an upsettingly long face with large, gnashing jaws. The way it repeatedly moves side to side looks like it's probably just a looping animated sequence. But what's your take? An abandoned mansion in Houston, Texas appears as the epicenter of paranormal activity in this clip, posted to YouTube by Hugo Blog in August of 2016. The shell of a mansion looks creepy enough on the outside, but then they enter. Wandering around the house in the darkness, at some point, the group captures on video what appears to be a ghostly young girl. They apparently didn't see her in real time, as they don't race from the house or cry out in fear. This image was only discovered after playing back the footage. Would you have the guts to enter here? Cross the threshold and find out. This driver and his friend both spot something strange while driving in Davidson, Maryland. They claim that this is a large black mass. I don't see anything during this first part, but let me know if you do.
Here, get out of here. Back up, bounce back.
I definitely see something here though, and I'll even highlight it for you.
There it is again. I see it. Get out of here. Go.
What's crazy is how the object mysteriously disappears in less than a second. Based on how fast they speed away, I have little doubt that this video is absolutely real, and they felt like their lives were at risk. A YouTuber named Benjamin Bennett makes videos where he smiles for literally hours at a time. No one knows why he does it. Maybe it's performance art, or maybe he is a little unstable. Either way, videos of a man smiling at you for hours at a time are deeply unsettling. Then, one day, Benjamin Bennett frowned. I think that maybe his facial muscles were cramping up after hours of smiling, or maybe he was playing a practical joke on us. Other viewers, however, are sure that Benjamin Bennett is being held against his will and is being forced to smile by someone off camera. Let me know which explanation you think is true based on what you've seen here. Om is a popular YouTuber from Delhi, India, who for 2 years has been steadily growing his channel Om Vlogs. At first, he would do normal things like go to a museum or an amusement park, but about a year ago, he started to get into ghost hunting. Now, he goes on ghost hunting explorations all the time, and they are really good. Delhi has a population of about 30 million people, so we are talking about a single city with as many people as the whole state of Texas, which means plenty of places to explore and plenty of ghosts to be found. So recently, Om Vlogs went to a building that was so cursed he wouldn't say the name of it or where it was, only that it was a restaurant in his hometown where something horrendous happened that made them close down and never reopen. On May 13th of 2020, they visit it for the first time, or at least try to. They don't get far because a presence guarding the area won't let them go inside. They stay at what they mistake for a safe distance and peer in. There's a light that's orange here at 8 minutes and 9 seconds coming from an otherwise dark room. They don't see anything else and chance a closer look. Om is talking more about the place when a mysterious shadow descends the wall at 12 minutes and 23 seconds. A minute later, they learn beyond a doubt that something is inside.
आवाज देखी आवाज ही नहीं देखी ये देख उधर के ईंट निकल गई है.
His friend is standing next to him, so it's not him. They dare not enter, but they stick around for a bit longer. At 15 minutes and 22 seconds, a single pixel goes white while recording a room on the second floor. When they zoom out, the light mysteriously goes away, but not before more black shapes pass over it. By now, it's getting late, so Om is wrapping up the video when he senses something watching him and points out a shadow figure that only he can see in person. It doesn't show up on camera, at least not that I can see, but you should remember this area for later because things are about to ramp up. Apparently whatever is in there is not happy to see them again when they return a few weeks later. This time a white-robed figure with a demonic head and 2 horns leans on the brick wall as if taunting them to try and go in, which they don't notice and proceed to do. They shine their light into a blown out window and eyes waverly reflect at 7 minutes and 5 seconds. The restaurant is obviously no longer taking reservations. They stand and brace themselves for whatever comes next, and when nothing happens, they decide to explore a few rooms before returning to the main area. As they think about whether to leave or not, a terrible feeling washes over them, and their camera goes out of focus like something is near, and it is. Om puts his hand up to shield the group from something they can't see, but we can. At 10 minutes and 58 seconds, it's coincidentally standing in the exact same place where Om thought he saw something the first time. The building becomes more displeased with each passing moment.
तो कुछ आप क्या कुछ ऐसा करके दिखा सकते हो?
But when they go into the room to leave, its guardian is absolutely gone. I guess it knew they were leaving and letting them pass without harm. And I think I heard a fire alarm at 11 minutes and 18 seconds, even though the place clearly doesn't have one. I suspect it once burnt down. And what you heard was paranormal residual energy from the event. Om never does reveal the location, but there is a comment left by someone who thought they recognized the location, and I thought this was interesting. If someone could please confirm that this location is on the Cardinal Bypass Road in Delhi, that would be helpful. And tell us anything else you know about its haunted history. This is some of the most convincing footage I've seen in a while. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by AMRV_5, this poltergeist activity left this resident with more questions than answers. The Redditor explains that she's been living in this apartment with 2 roommates for months, and they've noticed that nothing seems to stay on the walls, from pictures to posters. Due to the home's age, they thought that a lack of insulation and drafts were causing tape and sticky tack not to stay put. After being gifted some original artwork, they put some framed pictures up on the walls with nails, but the very first night, both of the frames fell from the wall. This happened a couple of nights in a row. One night, one of the pictures started moving slightly, so the Redditor broke out her camera and captured this. The video shows the frame moving, just as they'd witnessed before. It happens several times, and then the rolling chair swivels around. No one is near it. The Redditor pleads, "Can anyone tell me what this is? What's going on here?" Well, some in the comments think there must be fishing line involved. Some are suggesting that perhaps an air vent came on. There is in fact a vent up in the corner of the room. Still, others think it could possibly be a paranormal entity. A second video seems to suggest it's the latter. In the video, the Redditor does a vent test to see if the heating cycle is causing any sort of disturbance to the frame. As she's standing there waiting for the heater to come on, a loud disturbance is heard outside her room. She heads over to investigate and finds a boot thrown on a stair below. As she's looking around, another loud bang is heard from back in her room. When she returns, the frame has fallen from the wall onto her desk. She notes that the air has not come on yet. While Redditors are convinced by the second video, many are agreeing with then Safety 5971, who writes, "If it's fake, you still got me. What do you think? I can't think of any explanations outside of the paranormal." These residents captured an actual witch on camera hovering right in their driveway, shared by YouTuber Madisy ENT. The footage was taken at around 3 in the morning. Watch closely above the vehicle.
Baby. Baby, come on, see. Baby, baby. Babe. See. It's on me. Come on, see. What's that? Baby.
The mysterious being drifts for a moment, and all you can see is its glowing eyes and wild hair, and then it does this. Whether this was a witch or not, I think it was important to run away. My advice to this YouTuber would be to put as much space between you and this thing as possible. Baby monitors sometimes capture that which we don't even know is there. This creepy clip was posted to r/ghosts by Zealous Ideal Call 53. It shows a monitor placed in a child's bedroom. The baby is playing while her guardian appears to be on her phone. All is normal until you turn up the sound. A growl of a voice snarls "help me" 3 times in a row at the beginning of the video. Neither the baby nor the young woman in the video appears to hear the voice. Is it crossed wires with a nearby baby monitor? Did someone hack the monitor's sound? Or is it an EVP capturing someone beyond crying out for help? The Redditor explains in the comments that this isn't the only strange occurrence in their house, and that paranormal events have regularly been happening since she was pregnant. The Redditor writes, "We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of someone watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that suddenly return. Does this give more credence to the presence of a paranormal entity? My answer is yes." What would you do if your security camera caught someone or something poking its head inside your home? Posted by I Like Chia Seeds to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor states that their neighbor lives alone and that sensor light kept flicking on and off during the night, but as it would turn off, the sensors weren't just glitching out, they were sensing someone who wasn't supposed to be there. The footage shows someone peering into the home, wearing a mask of some sort. Redditor Lame suggests it looks like a dude wearing a mask, a hoodie, and a baseball cap. Julian of Norwich X responds that perhaps the stranger's cap mask combo forced him to look up to see if he'd encountered the homeowner. When he realized it was just a motion light, he backed slowly out of the home. Others say if it was a nervous man looking to take something. His reaction was much too calm in response to a light turning on in the home he was about to take from. Do you agree? If that's not the case, then what is it? A YouTuber named CJ Powers eagerly records the final stages of a drone project he and his group have been working on together. They are just about to fire it up when his friend Christian makes a nervous joke about the drone coming to life and attacking.
It's gonna go rogue and it's gonna kill me.
Roughly 2 minutes later, his joke becomes prophecy.
Smile at the camera.
Watch again and you'll see the sharp propeller swing towards Christian's face and neck at a high rate of speed. The loud motor gives Christian just enough of a heads up to barely move out of the way. They all laugh about it later, but look again and you'll see how close the drone was. From slicing something vital and taking his life. 2 YouTube ghost investigating groups team up for this video, but they find something even worse instead.
Because you know for a fact that's going to catch everything down there.
It already looked bad when they first found it, but the flames are twice as wide and twice as tall by the time the authorities arrive on scene. They have to be diligent as they lift the rubble up to check for signs of flames in the middle. If they miss a single burning patch, this whole situation could happen again tonight. When the first responders leave, the team checks out what it was. Someone who was putting this entire forest at risk so they could burn trash. When they thought burning it was safer than dumping it is beyond me. They were either extremely foolish, didn't care, or were trying to do it on purpose. Perhaps all 3.
This is not like your regular staircase. It's just not like where you can look directly all the way to the first floor.
A man knows his apartment building has a ghost in the stairwell.
It's a creepy place.
He nods politely at someone going downstairs. Time passes and then he notices something strange.
I haven't heard him exit though. That's the weird thing.
He saw someone enter, he heard them go down the steps, and yet they never leave. More weird sounds is the only response he gets. He seems like a different person in a video update 6 months later, much more cautious, like a lot has happened to him in the time since.
Creepy things have been happening here, and I know this place is definitely haunted.
This is where things get weird in a creepy way. The door he just came through is now open, and downstairs is a dark space that suddenly clears up.
What is that? I gotta look at that. That was a shadow figure.
When he goes to where the alleged shadow figure was, nothing's there. Here it is one more time, zoomed in at 22 seconds. I might see a small figure, but help me decide if it's paranormal or just my imagination.
What is that, dude?
A single strange light in the sky has a YouTuber named Jesse Tablebeast looking up with curiosity and horror.
Yeah, it's definitely flying, whatever it is.
He and his friend decide to drive towards this strange blinking light and investigate what it could be. This still image taken at 4 minutes and 58 seconds gives us a better look at it. A disc-like object floating in the air. There's an intense light coming from the bottom and also a small circular dome on top. They don't know what it is, and neither does anyone else. A minute later, they are at the source of the light, which is much larger now but still just as unexplained. They think the light is coming from a nearby power plant, but it's too dark and rainy to tell, so they go home without knowing for certain. This light, while bizarre, might be from a busted power generator, but if that were the case, then you'd think the light would be low to the ground and constant. The light is high in the air. Tell me what you think it is. A Texas A&M University student in Corpus Christi, who goes by the name of Fifferty Soar, has been hearing noises in his dorm room for quite some time. What began as an occasional knocking noise now, months into the semester, has developed into persistent paranormal sounds, stuff like footsteps coming from an empty room. This red line at 15 seconds is where the far wall is, so like I said, no one is in there, except for a poltergeist. No one could have lifted this mattress because the room is too small for anyone to hide. Next to the mattress is a closet that's empty, and that's it, nothing else. Now the bathroom door opens and closes, yet he finds no one inside of the tiny space either, and this area is even smaller than the room before. In all fairness, there are 2 seconds of darkness from 46 seconds to 48 seconds that I guess could mark a spot where he might have stopped recording, let someone out of the bathroom, and then started recording again to make it look empty. I didn't see any such transition in the first room with the mattress, so my gut instinct says this event is real. This video was supposedly taken by a robotic camera while surveying an old oil tanker. A school of fish briefly swims in front of the camera, and suddenly one of the fish gets nailed by a spear in front of the camera. Something fast swims by to collect the fish shortly after. Many people believe that this video demonstrates the possibility of some kind of advanced sea creature who uses tools to hunt. After all, there's no reason for a person to be this far underwater hunting with a spear, and whatever moves in front of the camera is too fast to be a person. Of course, the obvious answer is CGI, but I would love to get your thoughts. This ghost video from a bus station in Sydney, Australia, has everyone convinced it's real, even the camera equipment itself. A shadow shadowy mist floats across the upper right monitor, and soon motion tracking equipment puts a bright orange box around it to confirm. It eventually floats off the monitor, at which point it should show up on the other monitor to the left, but nothing appears.
Ain't going. Look at that.
The motion sensor tries to track it for a bit longer and then gives up. It has simply vanished. Thank you so much for getting me to 40,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Can you help me reach 50,000 subscribers? Thank you.